Coug fans are feeling great. Oregon State fans are wondering where they go from here. Duck fans are back to being cocky. Husky fans are drinking copium. It's just a wonderful Monday. Wonderful Monday. Welcome in, everybody.
Yeah, none of us are Florida.
None of us are Florida, and none of us are Florida State. How about that?
Oh, my God.
We're not Florida and Florida State. It could be worse.
We might have
Cal
lost by
getting
50.
points in Tallahassee.
How are they
this
an underdog?
weekend.
How is anybody an underdog against Florida State? I seriously asked that question.
I don't know.
How is that possible?
I don't know what about Florida State tells you they're going to beat Cal. We might have lost by 50 with DJ.
He is so bad, man.
He needs to go to baseball because
Yes.
he ain't going to the NFL.
You're
That's
wrong.
over.
Wrong sport, buddy. Hey, when you think of Will Rogers, what do you think?
Um,
What kind of offense does he run?
pro style?
Yeah, pro style, slinging it around.
Sling it a little
Air
bit,
raid at Mississippi
yeah,
State. Yeah. Seems like a good idea to call this.
Here we go. They need a touchdown to win, or a touchdown to go ahead. Rodgers, option, pitch, didn't get it. They stuffed him. Cal Thornton, the captain linebacker, with a game-saving play and a loss of one.
It's like the double bluff of it's such a stupid play call. You're assuming it'll work because they'll never see it coming.
Right,
and
right.
boy, oh boy, did that back. The Huskies run a speed option to the short side of the field on 4th and goal after they had a wide receiver catch a ball on 3rd down and then not like reach for it was kind of weird. He just kind of went out of bounds, not realizing
I said
that
the
he
same thing in
What are you
real time. I said,
doing,
why don't
dude?
you extend?
put the ball over the
Try.
line.
They give it to you even when it's out of bounds half the time.
So he didn't do that. They run a speed option to the short side of the field. What a day for the Washington State Cougars. After the year, we just got through talking about this with what Oregon State's gone through, the future of the rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
Washington State is in the same exact spot. They had to play this game in effing Seattle, not in Pullman, and they got a win, man. I was thrilled for the Cougs.
It's the Boeing Classic, don't you know?
It's the Boeing Classic. You put your doors on your plane before you sponsor a football game. How
Why don't
about
you
that?
Pay your workers. They're
Yeah.
on strike.
How's that sound?
Look, I want to give the Cougs their flowers. Okay, we will very quickly. I was just confused looking down and seeing the backup quarterback for Washington at every other possession.
They did the end of the
Can
half
you
thing that
explain
Oregon.
that to
They did
me?
the end of the half thing. They gave him Will Rogers was playing fine. Their
He
offense was moving
totally-
it like
I had my friend go, "Is he hurt?" And I go, "I don't see anything on
No.
Twitter that says he's hurt."
no.
And then the next possession he'd be out there, and then the next possession the kid would come out there.
What are you
I was
doing?
so baffled by what they were doing.
What are we
They
doing?
took a timeout to call that play.
Yes.
They called timeout. It was clearly 4th and goal. They were at what, the 1.5, 2 yard line, whatever it was. You have a 240-pound running back.
He had 14 carries for 75 yards.
Like, just give it everything you can up the gut. And what are we doing here? No, we're running short side option. You can argue till the cows come. That is the dumbest play. I don't know anything about football, and I'm like, I ain't running the option on the short side.
nope.
So kudos to the Cougars. They showed up, man, and they played. They showed out. They almost gave it away, but Washington was undisciplined. See the last Cougar possession where they're at the half-yard line.
Oh, buddy.
Offsides, game blouses. It's over. Here's a fight. I normally root for Washington in this game because my cousin was a Husky, and in this one, I found myself pulling for Washington State. I was very happy with the Cougars. They played a good game. Mateer got, that long touchdown run on them on what? That was like 3rd and 15.
Like a 3rd and 20, yeah,
And
like
no
30-yard
contain
touchdown
on
run.
him
Just
at
let me
all.
run around and make a play.
Good on the Cougars. That was really well done, well executed, and just a stupid play call by Washington.
It is funny. I love college football so much, man. And you get these quarterbacks that come around from time to time, and they're just absolute agents of chaos. Like, you never know what they're going to do. They're always extending plays. They're running, scrambling around, sometimes making boneheaded decisions, sometimes making brilliant throws. John Mateer is like the new chaos agent quarterback. That guy is all over the field. He's an absolute gamer. He runs like crazy. He had 16 carries for 62 yards, where some of that is a little misleading because there was some sack yardage stuff in there that gets tied into the rushing yards. He was a problem with his legs. He did have the one interception that he threw. Some Husky fans
It's a
would
bad
argue
interception.
it was a bad interception. Some Husky fans would argue it should have been 2. That was a tough.
Yeah,
did
do
he
you
catch it? Did he
overturn
not?
that?
Like,
because the momentum thing is
It's a
real
coin
in
flip.
sports, right? Like, if that's
It
an
is.
interception, they're getting it at, what, the 35?
35
the
or
30?
whatever going in. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe they score with 2 and some change, and it's like, oh, now Washington State. But what do you think? Do you think it was interception or no?
In real time now, it's hard to not be biased in this. I thought he used the ground to stabilize the ball.
To keep the ball?
That's what I felt like. I don't blame. I mean, I'm sure if that happened to Oregon, I'd be screaming, that was a pick, and how do you overturn it and all that. After the game, first off, the Dickert on-field interview, phenomenal. Like, just
choked up.
He's crying, talking about we won this game because we love each other more than we hate them, and that was their whole message for the week. He walks into the podium. He's got the trophy, and he brings a cigar with him. And I think he walked into the podium and was like, does anybody have a lighter? Which I just loved. And then he said this about the trophy.
Right, to bring that trophy back to Pullman. It's going to be in the third floor at the CFC if anybody wants to come out and see it. I think we might retire this trophy. I think this is the Pac-12 trophy. I think that might stay in our place for a long time, and we'll bring a new one next year. A little Big Ten, Pac-12. We'll put the new score on it. So we might retire this one as the Pac-12 trophy and stay in Pullman.
Let me just say this, Dirt, real quick.
That is so good.
That was a great thing. I have openly wondered, do I think he's a good coach? Because last year was so weird. Their win against Oregon State, like, oh my God, here we go, Cam Ward.
Beat Wisconsin early in the season.
Beat Wisconsin, and then it crumbled. And I think what we know is that a lot of those kids were being poached. They just were. They were being. Cam Ward certainly was. Am I going NFL? Where am I going next? Like once the conference crumbled,
yeah, you're moving on.
Some things don't go your way, and it disintegrated in front of them. I didn't know where I was. I still don't really know where I am. I think this season will tell us a lot. If they can get to the playoff and it lines up for them to maybe have that opportunity, ESPN is projecting a 23% chance for them to make the playoff round. That's more than Utah. But damn it if he is not great for that institution. He's a great quote. He just gets it. I think that's what I love the most when our local coaches get it. It's why I didn't like Chip so much. Like Chip was a great football guy. He obviously took Oregon to new heights. He just didn't get it. He's a New Hampshire dude who's a football nerd and doesn't care about local rivalry stuff. I love that part of Dickert. And, man, to not only have that day, but to beat them, and I know it's on a streaming, but to kind of be the standalone platform Peacock game. There wasn't a lot of great games on at that point. Oregon State was getting blown out.
Every national voice in the sport was tweeting about this game when it ended. Like, good for the Cougs, man. That's awesome.
It was great for Washington State, given what just happened to them in the conference. And, God, if he doesn't make you feel great about college football and what that sport means, you're not a college football fan. He was fantastic in the postgame. He was fantastic on the field. And watching them execute and win that game, it made you feel college football.
I love their idea to keep the trophy too, by the way. Like, dude, you left the conference. We're not giving the damn thing back. You want to come steal it from our facility.
He said we'll make a new one, didn't
We'll make a new one. It'll have Big Ten and Pac-12 on it.
Make it an airplane. Make it the Boeing trophy.
Make it a stupid airplane with a couple of doors missing that maybe is on its way down. Keep the damn trophy. I love that for Washington State. We're not giving this thing back. We want it. You left the conference.
Come get it. Come to Pullman and get it.
Steal it from my cold, dead hands. 16
that
penalties.
Felt like a lock, by the way, not to make it gambling. Them +5.
Well, them +5?
Like
I don't know about an outright win, but them getting points, like what did Washington show you at all in the first 2 weeks to make you think they're going to win that game by 2 scores?
They just looked like the same teams. And I think the score kind of indicates it came down to 4th and goal. That's what it was.
It came down to 4th and goal. It came down to mistakes. It came down to penalties.
Yeah.
Washington didn't have any turnovers, but they did have 16 penalties for 135 yards. And Husky fan is, I would say, rightfully pointing the finger at one person and one person in particular, and that is their head coach.
Yeah.
The idea to play a backup quarterback was dumb. It killed the rhythm that they had offensively. The undisciplined nature that 16 penalties in a game, like Oregon's had penalty problems, 16 in a game,
unbelievable,
including you pointing to they at least on that 4th and goal stop.
Oh yeah,
you had him pinned at the 2, like you could maybe force him to. I can't remember how many
it was
timeouts
at the 1. Actually, they could have made that really uncomfortable.
They were having to call like a quarterback
third
sneak.
and 1.
Third
I think.
and 1.
Had they stopped them, they were going to get the ball.
No, it was 3rd and 6, or no.
3rd and 10. 3rd and 11.
That's right. 3rd
they
and 11.
went backwards a yard.
We went 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
3rd and 11 at the 1.
They went to the 1,
and the nose guard just trucks the center way early.
And then they did it again.
And they did it again. It gave him an automatic first down.
What are you doing?
And the game is over. And the look of Jed Fish on the sideline with his visor on, just like, what happened here?
Undisciplined football.
Yes.
And Steve Belichick is not Bill.
No.
My God.
No, I think that's a pretty easy conclusion to draw. So we talked about with Oregon and Oregon State, where do they go from here? I'd mentioned nice to see Oregon put everything together, and I think, now you get 2 more games before you find out officially against Ohio State. I'm a little bit higher on the way Oregon State played than you were. Washington is their next game. They get Northwestern at home. this weekend. So
They haven't looked amazing.
Assuming you
But
should win that game.
but these are the weeks that we shouldn't completely overlook.
No,
These are the hangover weekends.
definitely.
So I think they're better than Northwestern, but a hangover weekend.
Washington State returns home to play a Friday night game against San Jose State on the C-Dub on the WB, 7:00 at night, and then they go on the road to Boise State the next week.
That's the one. Boise kind of lucked out. They got fortunate this year. They get both Oregon State and Washington State, the pseudo Mountain West teams, at home.
We're just taking the over on that game, right? Just take the over and then sit back and enjoy the show.
Boise's defense is not good.
Boise defense not good. Genty's going to run all over everybody that he plays this year, so he should be good for a couple of tutties. And John Mateer, man, he is like your quintessential crazy chaos college quarterback, and I love watching him play.
He just reminds me of Friday Night Lights.
Yes,
he's
just running around, doing something. What are you doing, John? I don't
Keep
know.
running, John. But think about this: like that schedule isn't the most easy. They should handle San Jose State. We'll see what they do this weekend on the hangover, the Apple Cup, and Boise at Boise is that's gonna be tough. Man, if you get past the Boise game undefeated,
yep, your ears start perking up of where they can go.
I mean, Cougs in the playoffs as the top-ranked Group of 5 team. That's an unreal and
they
great
got votes
story
in the
for them.
AP poll this week.
It's ridiculous.
Why are they
they're
not ranked?
top 25.
Why are they not ranked?
It's
That's
ridiculous.
so dumb. They blew out their first FCS opponent.
You know
they
why?
beat a Power 4 opponent in Texas Tech by 20 at home. And then they knocked off a team who hadn't lost a regular season. When was the last time Washington lost a regular season game? Been a minute, man.
It's been over a year.
Yeah.
Do you know why they're not ranked? Because Illinois now has to be in the top 25. This is what the rank, but this is what it is now. This is what sucks.
Yeah.
Illinois is undefeated, and they're in the Big Ten, and everybody thought they were going to be last. They're top 25. Yeah, so they can set up the Nebraska game to make it a top 25 TV matchup.
I mean, UNLV's ranked in the top 25.
UNLV.
I'm not opposed to you.
The Fighting Odoms.
First time they've ever been ranked in the history of their school, by the way.
The Fighting Odoms.
I'm not upset about
They haven't looked this good since Randall Cunningham.
them being ranked. Why is Memphis ranked? Memphis we're giving them credit for beating Florida State. Why is Memphis in the top 25 at 3-0? Like, what are we doing here, man?
These rankings don't matter.
No, they don't matter.
I
But
went on the rant yesterday on the
I
gambling show. Playoff committee, why don't you step it up and give us earlier rankings? This is ridiculous. I'm tired of caring about these rankings. These don't matter. It's a little concerning that these other group of 5s are ahead of you in these rankings. Just take care of your schedule.
Yeah.
Take care of your schedule. You should be just fine.
Were Husky fans that Wolverine meme this weekend, stroking their picture of Kalen DeBoer as he won 42-10 in Tuscaloosa?
Man.
I miss you. Come back.
I mean, that's the thing.
No, they won in Madison.
Oh, what did I say?
Tuscaloosa.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
what
Yeah.
a
It was a road win.
Yeah.
Well,
in
Van
Wisconsin.
Dyke did. I mean, I don't think Van Dyke was going to
They
beat
weren't going to
them,
win
but
either
Van
way.
Dyke got
But
hurt.
the second he went down, you're like, all right, click, that game's over.
Look, Washington will have their chance to continue to change the narrative a little bit here, but it is fair to just throw out there, because we were all in on Jed Fish, it is fair to say he had 1 year at Arizona, right?
Yeah.
He recruited a little better than we thought. He had 1 year. Arizona, the fighting Brennans didn't look that great against Kansas State.
They desperately missed the running back that he took with them.
Jonah
They don't have
Coleman.
any semblance of a run game.
Well, I was stunned when they did the option. I just was like, run it. That guy went to Washington to be with Jed Fish. You think Jed Fish should just hand him the ball and say, go win me the game, bro.
Go run it in from 2 yards
You
out.
outthought the room on that play.
And a Beaver fan texting in saying, let's go Cougs, Pac-12 bitches. P.S. That's why you keep playing the Civil War. UW's down right now. There will be years that Oregon will be fluky and the Beavers will have a chance. All that aside, hell yeah, Cougs, bow down, bitch.
The only time that happens
So
where
you
it's
go.
that close is Lanning leaving and you not finding a smash
They've
higher.
had down years, man. We have 4-8 in 2016. You never know.
True. You never know.
You never know.